Okay, if you weren't able to get the two slots on the top, what I did to make it easy for me was went to this view modes, and I went back to just showing the edges, and now I can go to model and use the sketch position, and I'm going to position the sketch off of this line and this line, and I'm going to reverse the horizontal and select OK. Alright, I'm going to zoom up on this, and I'm going to go to sketch, elongated hole, and I'll start here, come up to about here, okay. I'm using the end of this radius, trying to line that up, and I'll just come out one, click on this, and remember last time when I did the slot, I just did the auto constraint and said OK. I wish it would do that radius thing, but it made these lines vertical. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is move this constraint out so I can see it. And remember, we want to get rid of this constraint. And with this constraint, I always try and see if I can't just get the computer to do this for me. I go back to auto constraint, and I'm asking it to dimension to this point, but what really, it only likes to dimension to lines. So I'll probably get a dimension from here to here, but I need a dimension from the horizontal line to this point. Let's see what it can do on its own. Okay, see it dimension to the tangent edges because it likes to go to the lines. So I have to just do that manually. I'll just delete that out. But it looks like it did this one, right? But look where it's dimensioning. It's dimensioning to the tangent edge. I want it to dimension to that point. I don't know why the hell it does that. I'm going to delete that out. I'm going to add my own constraint. So we have to do a manual constraint on our own. And I'll constrain by selecting the point first. Oh, pray that I can get to that point. Remember last time I had to zoom in really close? Keeps getting the offset. I gotta just keep begging this thing to grab that point for me. Come on. There's my point. And then I'm going to grab the edge of this part. And that's the constraint I'm looking for. So I just move my cursor down a little bit, move it down about here. Click a position and just hit enter to accept that 0.5. I like that value. And I got to try and get this. Oh gosh. I did that wrong. I wanted to get this line. I'm going to delete this. What I really wanted to do is constrain this line. Again, it doesn't hurt to zoom up to try and get close to that line. Make sure you get the line. And now I get this bottom line, or this axis here. Again, I accidentally just rotated it, so you can go to view, normal to view to put it flat again. Or you could actually rotate it. Maybe it will make it easier as I'm trying to grab this edge down here. I'm hoping it will say edge. I can see it's highlighting the edge. Nope. I got that. Oh, I want that line to this line. Sorry, I'm grabbing the wrong one anyways. I want to go to that edge because I want to control it. I want to control that whole line, not the point, the whole line. But in doing so, now that I'm going to try and get that constraint from this point to here, might make it even tougher to grab that constraint. I'm going to try and zoom in closer to this point. Still just grabbing the face. I'm going to try and get closer. There's that point. I'll select the point. And I've already got this edge, so I want to go to the bottom line. So I'm going to grab the edge of the bottom line. So I have that. Arrowhead to arrowhead. Hit enter to accept that. Okay, so I just kind of zoom out here so you can see that. I've got a radius already for this. I'd like to get the radius off the part, but man, sometimes coming in here and grabbing this, I accidentally grab the face and stuff. And I can't get it to come over here until I go way up high. Then I can grab this line and then move it around. Click off in no man's land. So you need vertical lines to control this being parallel to each other. You need a radius. You need to define the length of the slot and 2 dimensions to locate the point on the slot. That's these two here. That's kind of a pain to do. So what I'm going to do here is right click on this profile and go to properties. Sorry. Right click on this profile. Damn, I got the part. I'm going to have to zoom in here. I want to try and make sure you right click on that green line, object, I just should be able to go to auto search. Use auto search and it should grab all those elements. And I'm going to use a feature here called translate. So I want to, instead of redrawing that sketch, I want to make sure that the slot is the exact same size. So if I copy it, I know it'll stay the same size. So if I go translate, I can go from this point to this point and just locate it here. So I click this point to start and where I want to end. I just line it up here and click. And I click off of it. See how it's black? I'm going to hit undo. And go with this highlighted. I'm going to try and translate that again. But it comes up with this pop-up window. So let me close these just to get them out of our way. You might not have noticed this pop-up window pops up. And I want to keep my constraints. So I guess if I'm a new user, I'm like, I just want to keep everything and see what happens. This is where it's going to start, and this is where it's going to end over here. So I just click a position. All right, notice how it added several of those dimensions. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't grab that center line when I did auto constrain. So this time I'm going to click over here and make a trap. Notice that when I clicked, I wasn't on the part. If you click on the part and try and drag it, it will actually duplicate it and put another pad in your tree. So I'm going to let go. And we'll go back to translate. With all of these turned on, I'm going to start here and then come over here and click a location. And then I'll click off of it, and you notice now the profile is done. It's already green because it copied all the same constraints. So So we can go to standard, exit, go to the pocket command. Notice that I'm able to grab both of them because they're all in the same sketch. Both sketches were in sketch 9. So when I go to put in the pocket, it's using all the geometry that's a closed profile and making a pocket. I'll go 1/8 of an inch deep and hit tab. And we're going to switch this back to dimension. And sorry, we'll go back 1/8 of an inch deep and hit preview. Select OK. If I click off of it, you can see the gray ones. What I'll do here for this one is go to properties. And I'm going to make all my slots the same color, kind of make it uniformed. Hit apply and say OK. Alright, so again, you want to change colors, it's right click. That's the right button to bring up the contextual menu. We go to properties, and the tab I did it was the tab graphic. And under the fill color, you can pick whichever color you desire. You can pick any color you want as long as it's the salmon color. Okay, that concludes this exercise. Hopefully you had a little fun learning this. Some of the most common things you really do in production. So I'm trying to get you a chance to practice this, get comfortable with it, make your life easy. You can view it in multiple ways just to get comfortable with all the different ways you are able to view these things. Okay, with this one on, you can see the edges of the fillets inside, versus this one you won't see the edges. Okay, and then the last one here lets you show hidden lines as well. Sometimes when there's a whole lot going on, it's hard to see unless you're rotating it around. Okay, I personally like this one here, and you can close this off, and I can hit the play just to get a visualization of what all the views look like. Alright, this concludes our exercises on creating pads, pockets, holes, and slots. Again, that's the majority of what we do in production, so that's why it's the most common features that we start with. Alright, hopefully you guys had fun making that, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Make sure to, if you're playing it, pause the video and go to the ISO view, fit all in, and save your part just like that. What I like to do also is hide the axis. When I do a fit all in, it doesn't see the axis, so it gets a little bit closer. And save it just like that, and that concludes our exercises for this portion of creating pads, pockets, and holes and slots.